Hi, I'm Alden O'Brien, Curator of Costume and Textiles here at the DAR Museum. And I am about to take out of a box, unbox, a needlework that we just purchased at auction to add to the collection. So let's see what we've got. We bought this because it is from a South Carolina school, and we don't have very many Southern samplers and needleworks. There was less population density in the South. There were fewer schools in the South for girls. The climate is not conducive to things lasting very well when they're made of textiles. So there's a number of different reasons for why we have fewer surviving samplers and needleworks from Southern schools. So my predecessor, Olive Graffam, began to very actively try to improve our holdings, and I have continued that. And so since I came, we've been able to add samplers from, let's see, Louisiana, Missouri, not exactly South, but Texas, Alabama, Florida, and this one from South Carolina, which is a decorative needlework, as you'll see, rather than an ABC kind of sampler. And this is also interesting because it was made at a Catholic school. A lot of the Catholic orders had schools in various states, especially in the South. Thank you, Kevin. And in Kentucky and Tennessee. And I'm blanking right now on the name of this order. We can add it in the captions, and I will be putting this online into our online database as soon as possible. But this order started in, I believe it was Charleston, and then they later sent a number of their nuns down to, I want to say Savannah, certainly in Georgia, and started a school down there as well. So this is one of the ways that styles of needlework, various motifs and things would migrate, is that some of the Catholic schools would send people to form a sort of satellite campus somewhere else. And this is apparently the first needlework from this school in South Carolina to surface. So we have the only one. There's one or more from the Georgia school, I believe. And so this is kind of exciting to have something quite rare. So this kind of represents Southern schooling. It represents Catholic schooling, it represents the South and their culture, and it represents the migration of patterns. So this needlework can tell a number of different stories. And oh, look, they enclosed some history, so I can give you it's from the Academy of Our Lady of Mercy. So it was
I love the catchphrase on the front. I said, what did it say? Flip it.
What did it say?
Be still and know that I am God. I feel like that's something Catholic schools are telling children regularly.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Whoa.
So look how pretty this is.
Oh my goodness,
right?
Look at that. I thought it was a painting for a second.
And what's wonderful about it is a lot of these are done just in cross stitch, but this has quite a variety of stitches. You see some French knots, you see satin stitch, you see some chain stitch, a bunch of different things. It's wool on a wool ground. So there's a few little losses to the wool, but that's okay. This is just the styrofoam. And of course, some of the colors fade. This was, of course, framed and shown in the parlor or somewhere in Mary Ward's house to say, look what lovely work Mary does. And probably by collectors and descendants since then. So unfortunately, we get a lot of this golden brown where it should be and tan. The tan is often formerly pink when you can see the stitches on the back. And of course, the leaves would all have been green. But those green dyes,
you can kind of see a tinge.
just a little tinge of pink.
Bit, yeah.
What we might do is we'll probably take this out of the frame, and because you can see that whatever behind it is either wood or cardboard, it's very acidic, and although wool is a protein fiber and therefore it's slightly acidic, it's not really good for it to be next to that. It's gotten, you know, and of course it is already yellowed. It's meant to be a sort of light tan color, but it's not good for it to be up against that acidified material. So we'll probably take it to a conservator and have it taken off and mounted in a conservation safe frame. And then of course it'll also take up less space in storage, which is also good because that allows us to collect even more. And once we take it out, we can take a look at the back of it. Whenever I'm in storage and putting things in our online database, about which and more later in just a minute, I try to take a picture of the back whenever it's available because A, it's interesting to see the stitches that the girls are using, and B, you can often see brighter colors, so that's kind of fun. So we will hand this over to our collections management team, and they will process this. I will try to take a photo without glare so that we can put in all the descriptive material into the catalog record, and we will try to get that uploaded into our database as soon as possible. And if you go to collections.dar.org, you will get to our online database. And then you have to click on a little bit and go DAR Museum, search, advanced search, whatever. But you can search for almost all our quilts are up, virtually all our samplers and needleworks are up. They're under 2 different names. If it's an alphabet type sampler, it's called a sampler. If it's purely decorative, it's called a needlework. So that's a little handy tip. And I have a few that have been received in the last couple of years. I've got a little bit of a backlog, but those are about to go up very shortly. So you can always look up our things. You can look up and you can say sampler and put in a state to see what we have from that state. You can play around with it in various ways. So do play around on our database, and this will be there soon.
And after conservation, this will likely go in the study gallery?
Yes, I like to put things in our study gallery drawers. Our textiles are in our drawers. We are about to rotate those in at the end of March. And so a whole lot of our recent acquisitions from the last 4 or 5 years will go in there. I don't think this is one of the ones that I have room for right now, so this will probably go into the next rotation in the fall. But you can see a lot of our recent acquisitions in another month. And anything that goes on view has to be live and visible in our public database. So those are all being prepared to go live as well. Thank you for coming.